Hello, and welcome to the Daily Reflections from St Mary Magdalene with St Martin's Church on Tuesday the 30th of June. If you haven't read our readings today already, they should be on the screen in front of you now. This week, as last week, we're going to be working through some of Judges. This is a book of the Bible that has provided fertile material for artists and children with gory imaginations, and our readings this week are no exception. The whole book is a cycle of the people of Israel forgetting God and doing their own thing, suffering at the hands of their neighbours, and then God sending someone to rescue them, over and over again. As Brian said last week, it reminds us of two things: that we, as humans, are drawn to sin and rebellion like gravity, and that God, whatever we do, remains faithful. But Judges is not a book of examples for us to follow, by and large. Even the heroes are very, very flawed. And we shall see that amply this week. The part of the story that we read this morning follows on from the story of Gideon, the last judge who has just died. He left his 70 sons to rule in his place, and the people rebel. They want one of their own to rule. So they murder those sons, all apart from one, who warns them with a fable worthy of Aesop of what is to come. We'll pick this up tomorrow. The cycle of temptation, sin, and return to God is also the story that Jesus tells in the prodigal son, but this includes the promise that when we rebel, God is waiting for us to return. Many of us have experienced friends or relatives repeatedly doing something stupid, which hurts us. Often, we leave them to their own devices in the end, perhaps to protect ourselves. That isn't what God does. Although he leaves us with the free will to make our own choices, bad or good, he longs for us to return to him. He watches out, like the father in the story, for the distant sight of us trudging down the road towards him. And when we come to repent, he's not grudging in his forgiveness, but lavish, because we were lost, but now we are found. Our psalm reminds us, though, of what is good. It is better not to sin. We're tempted to think that the grass is always greener on the other side of the fence, that those who don't know God have a more enjoyable existence. Our psalm reminds us of the end result. God will judge the whole world, and our only refuge is in him. It's like our being jealous of the high life of a fraudster on the run. They may have the pool and the mansion for now, but before long they will be held to account. Once, like the prodigal son, we have returned to our Father in heaven. Let's not be tempted to stray again.